Hey guys, this is Mithal with TGN.TV, and today I'll be bringing you a look at some instancing and some remarks on healing in instances in the Iron Tomb today, as well as some tips on general behavior within instances. I'll just show you parts of the instance we're actually looking at. I'm not going to show the entire thing. The entire thing is not as interesting, but I've picked out some of the interesting bits, and we'll see how our group copes. This is a complete pug. I do not know anyone inside this pug, and we'll see how things go. As you can see, I'm actually spec'd. Oh, you probably can't see that. I am spec'd Purifier. And mainly I also have a Sentinel and a Warden next to it. I have, well, mostly Purifier, as you can see, mostly shields and flame abilities. I use my Warden Hots to get this basic bed of healing, and my instant healing breath from the Sentinel. And from Purifier I have mostly shields as well as a big heal and a quick small heal, as well as some special abilities along the road. Now, something I noticed while instancing this rift, this is not actually my first time in the Iron Tomb, this is my second, is that there is a complete lack of leadership. I'll come back to that in a second. As you can see, we're tackling on the first boss here. The only real ability this guy has, you should have seen this in, I believe, Chroma's video actually covered this. The only thing here is that he has a stacking debuff, which can be tough to heal through, but as you can see, I'm actually level 20, the tank is 25, which means that we are massively over-leveled for this instance, so it's not going to be too difficult. When I did this the first time, my tank wasn't as overgeared, so that was a bit more difficult. He actually died then, but we killed him about 3 seconds after the tank died. So I'm trying to keep him alive, just giving him shields, keeping hots on him, but he's not having too much difficulty at the moment, so this should be more than fine. At any rate, about the leadership, there's so many people looking in trade, at least on my server, I'm on Whitefall EU. So many people looking for a group, but no one actually takes the initiative to actually go and form a group with everyone that's messaged. So this would make my calling out to people to take more leadership, guys, really. You'll get in groups much more easily, and I think people actually think more fond of you. I was actually the one who went to these people and said, alright, let's make a group together. Now this one is actually after the first boss. What happens here is that one of our, I think it's a ranger, it's probably a ranger, actually makes a pretty bad mistake by getting his pets over all the way to the other side. As you can see there, the pet just storming off into another group, which, pulls about 2 or 3 extra groups, and him going shit, and just swearing everywhere, and, this is even too much, even for our level. I'm trying to keep him up, but one of them, the ranger's already dead. I'm trying to keep him up, but shield's gone down, hot doesn't work, I'm being absolutely kicked. It's just a wipe. This is the only wipe we had in this instance due to a silly mistake by the hunter, but, well, you're here to make mistakes, aren't you? As long as he doesn't do it again, then it's fine. You have these people, though, that make mistakes and say, yeah, I couldn't find my button, and, oh, no, it's my pet's fault. It is your fault. If you make that mistake, that kind of mistake, it is your fault. You can help. You can actually do something about making those mistakes. They are your fault. Don't go making excuses for those kind of mistakes. As you can see, we're walking up to the second boss here, and the second boss is actually going to summon these 3 kings. If you want to see like an in-depth view of these bosses and how to beat them, they are really easy, all of them. You should check out Chroma's video. I believe you can, if you take in Iron Tomb Chroma, you should be able to find it. I'm just going to give some comments about healing and some general behavior patterns that I see in instances that, well, people can improve on and actually be seen as a better person. You know, we don't have a a general cross-server group finder in the game yet, nor do we have a single-server group finder in the game yet. But the general consensus here is that, you know, you are on a server together and people actually get to know you, and why not be nice and take initiative and make sure that people actually get to know you and be friendly, be social. It is a multiplayer game, so being social is a very good thing in general. As you can see, we're taking on the second boss here. The tank is not taking a lot of damage yet, just putting some hots on him, giving him a big heal now and then. I believe the big heal is actually more mana efficient than the small heal. Not that I'm completely running out of mana. I don't really have mana issues at this point. When I was a bit more low level, when I was actually doing my first Iron Tomb and had a lower geared tank, I was actually having some mana issues at the end. So thinking about mana efficiency already is definitely a step in the good direction. Now, as you can see, all of them are being summoned right now. We actually don't really execute this well. The point is just that we're over leveled. I believe I'm 20, the tank is 25, we even have a 26 in here, another 20 and a 24 I believe, I'm not completely sure. But as you can see, I'm actually tanking the mage to the right here, while keeping up the tank. It's really easy. I mean, if you would execute this well, like perfectly, you probably wouldn't have many mistakes done. But I like the challenge of doing things at a fast pace, to be honest. Hopefully down the road these instances will get much more challenging. I really hope so. I've heard a few stories, not enough, on experts, dungeons, as well as raid rifts, as well as Green Skills Blight. Obviously, Green Skills already been downed even after his 250% buff. So, is it really difficult? I don't know. I'm not gonna tell you guys yet, but from what I can tell, hopefully things will be challenging. That is the reason people play a game, to have challenge. I already have these shoulder pads, so we're gonna jump onto one of those. Further on in the instance, you actually get a quest from a guy, and you have to kill these mounds on the ground, these death shards, and a little clip of that is that we just kill the death shard, and the more you kill it, the more mobs will spawn. So what you'll normally do is just get the death shard to 50%, kill the mobs that are up, then hit the death shard a bit more, kill the mobs that are up. But now we just decided to summon all of them. Not a lot of talkative people in this group though, so not a lot of communication. Communicate in your groups, that is a very good thing to do, even though at this level it's probably not very necessary. As you can see, this is a poke, so anyway, even though the healing is somewhat more intense than some of the boss fights earlier, this is doable. I actually kept him alive here. Afterwards, you have actually 3 of these mounds that you have to kill throughout the instance. Here's the next one. As you can see, we go for the same tactic of just killing the mound and let everyone kill these cadavers that come on your way. Now, once things get more difficult, what I try and do by keeping the tank alive is that I don't really have a lot of AoE heal spells, so that is problematic. But I do have a Caregiver's Blessing spell, which is the to the right. I believe it's my 9 or something. What this does, it gives shields to all your next 3 healing targets. So I put it on myself. It's a self buff. Then my next 3 heals will be buffed with a extra shield, which absorbs about 150 damage, depending on spell power and wisdom, of course. So I tried that. I just tack a hot on everyone, and about 3 people get an extra shield. Especially on this fight, a lot of people actually pulled extra putrid ravagers. There's actually one on me right now, but it is very healable, especially at this level. I will come back here in Experts and try it out again. But this is not the most difficult part of the instance. I actually recorded that as well, and what I think is, well, it's purely communication. It's the sticking together, making sure we get to the orbs. I actually marked the tank with a 1 here and told everyone to stick to the tank. Now, it goes well for starters, but eventually someone wants to make his own choice and doesn't actually follow the tank. That is not the best of decisions, perhaps. When someone says follow the tank, you don't go on your own and make your own decisions. Now, as you can see here, things will get very hectic because we're getting shades from all sides of this room, and things are getting very, very hectic here. I'm really trying to stick with the tank, trying to keep everyone alive. Hopefully no one will die, but I think I'll manage. It's just throwing a lot of quick heals out, a lot of instant heals, my healing breath, throwing hots. I don't have my shield left. I could have used Caregiver's Blessing here, but I actually didn't need it in the end, so it wasn't as hectic as I thought. But if we were level 18, all of us, we probably wouldn't have survived this mistake. So once someone in your raid says stick with the tank, please guys, do stick with the tank. Anyway, after this large pool, we actually did quite well, but there aren't that many shades left because we killed all of them in that previous pool. But that is the general gist of it. Hopefully in experts it will be very unforgiving. One minor detour and you'll simply be rushed by all these ghosts. I really hope they actually make expert dungeons challenging and actually make people ready, like actually make them learn for the raids. But from what I can tell, those expert dungeons are really being burned through. So it is. Now here's our third mount. As you can see, we're still going for the same strategy. A lot less hectic this time. There's no Ravager on me yet. As you can see, the tank is not bad for his level. If he's tanking this for the first time, I'm somewhat impressed. I'm not sure how difficult tanking is in Rift yet. I've not actually tried it. Obviously I've done it in Craft quite a lot, but I'm not sure if he has a spammable AoE taunt with a cooldown of 3 seconds, then I wouldn't regard it to be that challenging. Now we're off to the final boss, which is this big demon guy, as you might know, and he is really easy except for one, well, retard killing ability, which is once the Helium, March Warden Helium, which you've seen in Free Watch Story, pops up, you'll want to stand in the lights. Now, everyone in this group has learned from their mistakes throughout the it's not that it made that much. I believe we had one hunter pull an extra mob, and some guy taking a detour with the ghost. But as you can see, the March Warden just appeared here. Everyone's going in there, someone's taking a bit longer than the others, but it's all good, very good for a first group. In my actual first group in Iron Tomb, I actually had someone who didn't see this, even though I told him before, and obviously died, which is very, very forgiving. If you don't see these kind of abilities, then you only deserve to die, in my honest opinion. Anyway, as you can see, the boss is very easy. I almost got him down here, and it is generally a very easy instance, especially if you're running it with an average level about 24. Now, that's what I wanted to show to you guys today. Hopefully, you got some general idea of some behavior in instances and some mistakes that you shouldn't make, as well as a few tips on healing. The loot was absolutely miserable for me there, unfortunately, but I'll keep you guys updated. I'm actually thinking of making a Chloromancer on the Guardian side, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, guys, I will see you later. This was Mithal with TGN.tv bringing you some Rift coverage. I will see you guys on my next video. See ya.